All right, guys, if you are someone who's actively involved in things like YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, you know what a troll is. It's a person who is looking for a hot button and they want to press it. They're looking for a scab to pick. They are looking for anything that they can harp on. When we talk about harping on somebody, we are talking about plucking the same string over and over again, much to the annoyance and irritation of the listener. And that's why we say that. And that's what they're trying to do. And what they want you to do is they want you to react. They want you to respond. They want you to feel irritated. And they want to get you to that point where you say and do something hurtful, damaging to your reputation, or they just simply want to make you look stupid. But everybody has trolls. It doesn't even matter if you've never used the word before, if you didn't know what they were. But that's what they are. That's what they do. But you don't have them just on social media. You have them in all areas of life. They could be the people that are closest to you. They could be people that if you work in retail or you work anywhere where you have a customer, they may be people who like to pose a problem time and time again. What they do is they're looking desperately for anything they think they can do to hurt you. They want to pick on something. And so anyway, there are ways of dealing with trolls, but I also want to emphasize that they are actually good for us. They're actually good for us. Now, I briefly talked to Dan C. Bearded about this back and forth on a message on Instagram, and we were talking about just the different remarks that people make and how we handle it. And he made a good point. He said, I teach American history in middle school, and middle schoolers, he's exposed to that kind of mentality on a frequent basis, and he says nothing phases me. Adults don't faze me because I'm so used to middle schoolers, and that's fantastic because really, I mean, he hit on the spirit of the troll right there. They pretty much act like middle schoolers. Not all middle schoolers act like that, because I have middle schoolers at home, and two of them still at home, by the way, and they don't act like that. But if someone is going to behave in that way and come after you and pick on you, well, they're pretty much that's their maturity level, is that of a middle schooler. But there's ways of handling them, and I think it's important to note. Now, I think the most important way to handle a troll, let's say, for instance, they come on to my channels and they like to say things like, "Oh, bro, just so you know, you do actually have a receding hairline." And my thought is always, who cares? I shaved my head. I don't care. It's just funny to me. They think this is going to be a point of contention. Or they'll make other remarks about a method I might use in shaping my beard or trimming it, or what I've said, or they might pick up on a grammatical error. They might pick up on how I might have mixed up words and said them backwards, and I do that all the time. They might talk about your tone. They might talk about how you say and ah and so, or they pick on a whole. They'll find anything they can talk about. What's the best way of dealing with that? Because the truth is, you experience it too. You might go to work, you have a boss who just cannot stop picking on you. Coworkers. It could be a spouse. It could be your children. It could be, like I said, it could be customers. It could be anybody. How do you deal with these people who are always trying to pick a scab? Well, don't let them know it's a scab. It could be, you let them just act like it's scar tissue, not a scab, which is, it's not going to affect you. You don't feel it. You don't react to it. You don't respond to it. Now, you could respond to it. And that's kind of what Dan and I were talking about. I told him that oftentimes I don't respond to these people, but he did. In one occasion, he just kind of laid out his case, and he let them know that he didn't know exactly what they were talking about, but he blew it off quite well. He blew them off quite well, and even though he did respond to them, he didn't act like it fazed them at all. And that's pretty much what I do. When people are going to come after you and they're going to start hitting hot buttons and start picking away, plucking that string over and over again, you just have to keep in mind that you should not ever let them see you sweat. Do you remember that commercial? What was that? what was that, some deodorant commercial? You can tell me in the comment section below what it was. I don't remember what it was, but they always say, never let them see you sweat. That's the truth. You can't let them know. Even if something irritates you, you can't let them know. And if you are, one of the ways, if you're going to respond at all, one of the best ways to do it is mild sarcasm, because you let them know that, hey, I'm not into this game you're playing, but okay, you're being silly, and that's fine. I hope you have a good time. Thanks for watching, and that's oftentimes how I'll handle things like that. But if you try to come off as kind of mean-spirited and sarcastic, it looks like you're chuckling and angry at the same time, and people pick up on it, and they don't like it. They know they've gotten to you, and they're going to keep doing it. I mean, so in a sense, they do kind of like it. But I'll tell you who doesn't like it are the people that actually respect you and your constant viewers. But I'm not talking to just YouTubers. I'm not talking to just people who tweet or get on Reddit. I'm not talking to just them. I'm talking to all of you, because you're going to have people in your life who are going to constantly pick away at you. They're looking for your hot buttons, and they're going to keep pressing them if they get a reaction out of you. And before you know it, sooner or later, you're going to explode. You're going to say something stupid. You're going to say something hurtful, and they're going to note it, and they're going to use it against you. They're going to exploit it for all it's worth. You can't allow that to happen. You just either don't respond at all, which is oftentimes what I do. If someone has something negative to say, or someone's trying to offer some criticism, but it's not constructive, and it's just to get on your nerves, oftentimes I don't respond at all. If I do, I'm very matter of fact, and every once in a while I'll be mildly sarcastic. Okay? And that's the way you want to handle the trolls in your life. And why are they good for you? Because I made the comment that they are good for us. They're good for us because they do make us stronger. They're not good for us if you never learn your lesson. But you need to learn your lesson. You do need to get this down, develop a technique for dealing with them. Either A, don't respond, or B, respond, but very matter-of-factly, and never show irritation. Never show irritation. Never let them see you sweat. Okay? And if you have to, respond mildly sarcastic, and then get off. And then don't keep responding back. Let's say you've done that. You've responded in some way, and then they come back with something else. They think, maybe I've touched a point of irritation with them, and they say something else again. Do not respond a second time. You said what you need to say the first time. Get off of it. All right? And but trolls are good for us, because if we get the point and we understand what's going on, then we will become stronger for it. These platforms like social media are great breeding grounds for people who are toxic, because it emboldens them. It emboldens them to say things they wouldn't say to your face. But you do have people in your life who are brave enough to do that. You got to treat them just the same. So keep that in mind. They are good for us. They do make us stronger. They do make us more resilient. And if you get this down, you're going to experience a lot more peace, because they're just not going to get to you, and your stress levels will go down. And you'll be proud of yourself, and you'll have a newfound respect for yourself. And that's very important, because you can't count on other people to respect you. But if you respect yourself and you can take pride in how you've handled something, inevitably others are going to respect you too. So trolls are very good for us, but just handle them in the way that I prescribed here, and you won't have any problems. There should never be a need to show irritation. There should never be a need for your blood pressure to rise, and there should never be a need for them to see you sweat. All right, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been helpful, and if it has, let me know, and let it reflect by giving me a thumbs up on the like button, and share this with your friends, your family on social media, because all of my videos I think are inclusive, except for the beard videos, which wouldn't apply to women. Almost everything I talk about can be applied to everybody's life. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy what follows. Bye-bye.